Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for Philosophy 101 for the week of September 23rd. This is week 6 that we are entering in our semester. We're almost at midterms. Wow. Okay, so first of all, I have to tell you, I'm a little under the weather today. I've got some sort of strange bug. It's not a stomach thing, it's just kind of wearing me down here. But anyway, if I seem a little off today, that's why. So be patient with me, please. And send me your positive thoughts. That would be very nice. So, to our class. Actually, first, let me just say this. Thank you to everyone who participated in my announcement challenge last week. The score was 31 to 10. I think everyone who posted got it right with the Aggies losing. And interestingly, just yesterday, more football news. The Aggies played the UNM Lobos, so our team. That's a big rivalry, right, between our schools. And the score was crazy. It was 50. Let me see. Let me get this right. The score was 52 to 55. It's like a basketball score almost. And the Aggies lost, unfortunately, but it sounds like they really fought hard. So good job, Aggies. Okay, we're behind you, and that's awesome. And it's too bad that you lost. Okay, so now for this week, um, we are going. Well, actually, before I start this week, I'll get there. But I want to talk about the discussion that I graded last over last week, and that was on the Meno. It was your last discussion on the Meno, and a few things I just want to address. Interesting knowledge, the idea of knowledge, and I guess what I was interested in your post was what is it that makes knowledge certain? What makes it firm, according to what Socrates said. Okay, and so what I was looking for was the idea. He talks about those statues, right, at Daedalus, and that they're tied down, and so that's an analogy to knowledge. Knowledge is tied down, and what is it tied down to? It's something that can be tested and proven. Um, and that's what differentiates knowledge from right opinion. Okay, and so right opinion, I think the word opinion kind of threw people off a little bit. Um, so opinion isn't so much what you feel about something, but it's more what you believe to be true, if that makes sense. So, for example, I have a right opinion that I need to take Highway 70 to go to Las Cruces. Okay, so, and yeah, I can find evidence and I can find a way to prove that, but until I do that, it's just an opinion. It's just something I believe to be true. Okay, so I think a few people kind of caught up in saying that opinions were more personal than that, and I think they can be, especially when you're talking about those big questions like virtue, or justice. Certainly that becomes much more subjective. But even there, Socrates really strives to establish that there are truths even in and certainty even in those very abstract topics. Okay, so anyway, this is something we're going to continue to kind of explore in this class. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head. Okay, so so that's where we're at. Okay, now this week. So this week you are continuing your work on Descartes. So by now you should have done the reading, which is in Meditation 1 and the first part of Meditation 2. So now what you'll be doing is working on your presentation discussion if you haven't already begun, which maybe you probably have. I hope so. So one thing about when you're looking at which um, part of the text that you're going to be assigned to, that is based on your last name. Okay, there's always one or two people who think that it's based on the first letter of their first name. No, this is based on the first letter of your last name. Okay, so that determines which part of the reading that you'll be assigned to illustrate. And I just wanted to show you some samples from past years. Okay, let's see if I can go there without. Oh, I'm going to have to put my headset down. Hang on a second. Okay, this is a sample or of a past year. This is obviously from a face-to-face class. I'm trying to get this in the camera, but you can see how this this is a group. This was a group project. How they created this collage. Okay, so that's one example. And so if you were going to do this, of course, you'd have to take a picture of your collage and make sure that it's clear and that I can read all of it. But that's an idea, of what people have done in the past. Um, and now that we're online, there's you can use technology to your advantage. One person asked about creating an animated production, and that's great as long as I can open the file. Okay, so that's the only thing is when people want to be creative, I totally support that, but I just need to be able to open the file and to play whatever it is that you send me. But for the most part, people use PowerPoint, and that is fine. Okay, one thing I want to in, uh, um, emphasize is make sure that you follow all of the instructions on this project. There's like 3 pages of instructions, and so it's really very critical that you follow all of those instructions. And also on this project, I am asking you to provide citations for the sources of images or any kind of material that you use. Okay, now if you're unfamiliar with creating citations, and what I mean by citations is there needs to be at the end of your project a page listing the sources, and that should be written in MLA style. So if that's not familiar to you, or you're in English 111 and you've just started working on that, I will um, put in this announcement a link to some resources so that you can see what it is I'm talking about. Okay, but that's very important. You have to cite all the sources that where you get your images from. Okay, and also your quotations. So you're going to need to have Descartes, the Meditations, Rene Descartes, the Meditations as a citation as well. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, be sure to get in touch with me so that I can help clarify. Okay? All right, so I think I better end this. This is getting long, and I hope you all have a good week. Stay healthy, okay? Wash your hands. Don't get ill like I did. Okay, thanks. I will see you next week.